Hey folks, welcome back to Only Best Fantasy Novels. My name is Robin, and today I want to talk about the 8th installment in the October Day series by Seanan McGuire, The Winter Law. And this might be the coolest book in the coolest entry in the series to date, pun intended, because of two particular things that it does, and I'll get into that shortly. First of all, what is this particular book even about? So Toby should know by this point that when things are quiet, it's really just the calm before the storm. Things have been too quiet for her lately, which is exactly when it all goes sideways. The person responsible for imprisoning her for 14 years and costing her her family returns. Not just returns, but claims to be her ally. The problem is that Toby has since figured out that this person is really just an employee, and his employer is now going to is now entering the picture basically. So, in terms of how these books have run, this might be the most personally impactful book to Toby to date. Like, it very much dives. One thing that was established literally in the first book of the series is the way that she just how catastrophic it was to her life when she was imprisoned for 14 years, and how it cost her husband, it cost her child, and these kind of things. And this book brings all of that back home fresh, and it kind of what makes it a little more terrible, because you can see that since then to now, Toby she's built essentially a whole new family around her, with friends and people who love her and that kind of thing. And now with the return of this character, you have to start to wonder if she's going to end up in a situation where once again she's going to lose all of that, exactly the same way she lost it all so many years ago. So in terms of personal ramifications where it comes to these books, this is definitely the most significant one. Like, things happen over the course of the mysteries that she resolves, that she gets involved with, yes, but this is the first one where it directly has something to do with her. And what's more interesting is that about this book, the other thing that's really cool about this book, aside from the personal ramifications, is that these books, they tend to read almost like an action thriller with a healthy dose of mystery. Like, the mystery is just a catalyst, and then it becomes one long action adventure, and then the mystery kind of unfolds as on the side. This one, the mystery reads like the primary focus. Like, you have the mystery of this character and their and the situation that they find themselves in. And as Toby begins to start to unpack that and all of that, she begins to delve into so many different areas, like her family history and things she thought she accepted as fact. She's now forced to confront and deal with the ramifications of those revelations and these kind of things. So definitely a very in terms of personal, like I said, in terms of personal ramifications, this book is very much there, and the mystery is just intertwined in all of that. So there's that other aspect about this book. And then finally, the other third thing that this book does that's really cool is that this is for a book that incorporates the fairy realm. I don't know why I didn't expect this sooner, especially given the way the third book went. But this one is the first one that takes a very popular fairy tale character and brings them and folds them into Seanan McGuire's world. And it's done in probably the best way possible. Like, in this case, how it's incorporated is that we get our version of this particular character, and it's quite clear that this character could very well be the inspiration for the popular version that we know, and this character very much holds true to the variant that we know as in the quote unquote real world. But this character is so much more her own thing, and and the role that she has in this book, and the ramifications of all of that, like it's incredible. It's really cool, and it's handled in such a way that even though this character is introduced, they don't feel like it's not done in a way that it's an extension of the world building, because that's the other thing. Like this book, it very much builds on all the existing world building to date. It doesn't go and introduce something new and crazy and different and all of that. Like this character is someone who we've met previously. It's just the way that they were introduced then and compared to the way that the further understanding that we get of them now, it's a whole different story. It was really well handled, and it just kind of amplified my enjoyment of the story in that regards. As to the rest of the book, like it's a typical typical for an October Day installment at this point. You know, it's got quite a bit of action, it's got quite a bit of mystery, a whole lot of emotional intensity given the subject matter in this particular one, and it's just exciting. It's just very readable. It's just very fun. Toby's humor honestly can be a bit hit and miss, because of her rather cheeky character, but it's the interactions with her pseudo family. It's the interactions with her friends and her loved ones and that kind of thing that give this book and all of these books so far a charm that, you know, just engrosses you and keeps you reading, and has kept me reading for 8 books at this point. And I think there's 18 or 19 books in the series at this point, and I am absolutely going to keep reading straight through. Like that's a given at this stage. So yeah, like that's kind of the gist of what goes on in this book. But and finally, my favorite thing about this book is that it really peels the curtain back on Toby's heritage. We can see, like, some of the things that are revealed in here, you can just tell they're going to have some pretty massive ramifications moving forward, and I'm excited to see how all of that plays out. So I guess when you take a step back and look at all of that, you can say this is pretty much a standard installment as far as October Day novels go. But at the same time, this book, it reads it like it, because of the way it engages you with that emotional aspect of it. It feels like it just continues that trend with the series, where the books just become more and more intense as they go. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on The Winter Long. Another banger of an installment. Like, these books have not missed for me so far, and I'm excited to see what happens in the next one, and to just keep this train ride going as for as long as possible. So yeah, that's my thoughts on The Winter Long. If you made it this far into the video, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.